Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope this video finds you in good spirits. Whomever may be watching. As for me, I just had to clean up a bunch of disgusting trash bags. I smell cat shit. I know that there's nothing left to say. I have to choose my words carefully. The mind, the celestial Iron Maiden. Median prefrontal cortex. MRI brain scans of women's orgasms. Hardcore pornographic smut. Bondage, conception and bondage. Very funny. So I'm writing all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. Disillusionment, despair, depression, isolation, loneliness. The Tower of Babel. The Ziggurats. Wrote every newspaper in Las Vegas, or every staff member of the one. So my essay, my novel. I don't know, I guess I did everything wrong. I feel like they did everything wrong. None of us respected each other enough. Hollywood mind games. I keep thinking about Rachel. I asked this girl to come with me. We shared the stage together for the first time. Shakespeare, both first Shakespeare. She had been an actress for a while. That was my first time on the stage. No, I always thought that it was a nice show business story to have a 3-minute soliloquy as the first thing I ever did on stage. I suppose that's what Quentin saw in his way. But it seems pretty obvious that they manipulated Rachel in a real way, and that's why she backed out. They just manipulated me too much, you know? They manipulated me too much. Right? 10-year celibate. I can't, right? I didn't write Quentin to, you know. Again, this, like, I thought that the role was like something else. I thought that it was like Travis Bickle. I thought that it was a guy writing in a pornographic theater while people are jerking off all around him, and no one wanted to touch it. You know, that it was like this caustic, abrasive. You know, it's like Raging Bull. He's like beating up women because he's addicted to pornography. But I'm writing. That's nice. I know that novel's done. You know, it's, what can I say? You know, it's all there. Surely the most interesting fiction to have Boulder, Colorado in it. Perhaps Los Angeles as well. I'm just running out of. I guess maybe there's a part of me that's like running out of concern. You know, I guess nihilism. You know, and this is what breaks my heart most of all. You know, that maybe they're just all whores. You know. Very funny. Here's $10 million. Go away. But they know it's about money. Right? Billions with a B. Right? Jack Nicholson in The Shining, you know. It's like I try to write, I try to read. I can't watch movies anymore. I can't, you know. And I know that he's suffering a similar affliction in that way, as far as it's his whole world, you know. And that's sad that I wasn't, you know, that I wasn't wise enough to see how out of order his house is. And so, Tribeca's my fault. Everything else, I don't know, you know? I just don't know. I know that, you know, when I pick up a book and I read a page, you know, it's just a case study now. It's a psychiatric case study. It's just dangerous psychologically. And I wear it well. I suppose this is all how it always had to be. So, I don't really know what else to say. I don't know. You know, I have to keep writing. I guess I feel like I'm obligated. I have to. Why wouldn't I? You know, till they're prepared to look me in the eye and say, "This isn't a rape, baby." Right? No one loves you. We're satanic skanks, and we love it. Then I have no choice but to hope and assume that there's something good in them, and they're being manipulated in a disgusting way, in an illegal way. And so, I'll keep writing. Doesn't cost me anything. If it's channeling, 10,000 words an hour, bunch of words an hour. I guess maybe I'm running out of people to write. You know, who's left? You know, every law professor, every major law school in the U.S., every school of divinity, every school of psychiatry and psychology, every school of journalism, every film school, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Right? Every reporter at the New York Times, every reporter at the Washington Post, every reporter at the LA Times. You know? Of course, Variety and the Hollywood Reporter are all hacks. Right? No one cares about journalism, I guess. The truth, I don't know. Why do people become journalists? To write puff pieces? Right? Angelina Jolie ain't got a fucking opinion about the fact that I'm standing up and saying, right, your husband won an Oscar for beating you up on an airplane? That doesn't excite you in your nether regions? Right? Mikey Medicine? Right? Nora, Sean Baker? No intimacy coordinator? Right? Oh, you know, like, oh. Very funny. It's a joke. Yeah, I'm a whore. I like to get dick down at work. Right? Thanks for caring. Hit the fucking road. I'll love any other man. And so I can't believe that. That's just too fucked up. Am I saying that I deserve all these women? You know, is that what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why not? Why not? Is there like a rule against that? I'm pretty sure that we can all do whatever we want. Right? And if they're all hot for me, right? I'm hot for them, for sure. Hottest women in the world. Right? Of course, it's funny, it's just funny when I think about how if I had given him everything, like how it would have. Time will tell, I suppose. I don't know what I'm saying. I suppose I'm done talking. I don't have anything else to say. I'm just going through the motions and knowing that I'm being manipulated in a disgusting way. And that as it gets closer to the days of the show, my fear is going to compound upon itself more and more. Knowing how it was a year to the day last year when he overtly tried to give me AIDS with black magic. And so what do I mean when I say that? I mean that in psychic occultism we have this thing, it's called intention. Right? And so what that means is that you're exercising your consciousness over a specific point in space as a pressure. Right? And so, almost all of the time, it's a psychological pressure. That's, right? That should be all that it is. As far as the destroying angel mushroom, he got me to go to the hospital and I had them check my liver for enzymes. But, right? If he used, right? If he used his mind, right, to push, right, to exercise a pressure, an electrical pressure over my body, right, to push AIDS, right, as an electric effluvia inside of my body, it's actually technically not impossible. It's just highly unlikely. That's the point, right? And so, right, I wrote Fish about helping us reconcile. And a year to the day when they were playing in Seattle, right, he cast this disgusting spell that he can never outrun, right? He can never take it back, right? And so he's continued in this vein, right, trying to make me kill myself, trying to compel me to permanent hospitalization, compel me into disease. And so if the joke is that I'm a loser, right, if the joke is that Hollywood wants me to die, why shouldn't I fear, right, that when it's 2 years to the day and Clinton still hasn't succeeded, that he won't use 1,000 fucking people, 1,000 of his disciples all over town to try to give me AIDS again, to try to destroy my body again, right? And so this is the fear. I guess this is why I keep talking about it, because number one, it's disgusting, right? And number two, right, it's evil. That's when I make a joke about taking a shit, I guess. My point is that, if you, right, it's one thing to use, right, the 3 women, right, the 4 women, right, to play this game, but it's another thing to use 1,000 people, right? But that's real mass telepathy, and then you're engendering such a dense electrical pressure condition inside of the target, whatever that may be, if it's a rock, if it's whatever, if it's my cellular structure, right, the fucking white blood cells in my seminal vesicles, right, then you're crossing into the threshold of physical destruction. And so it's always the other way, these are the things that you hear about that are documented as far as nuns healing the sick, and it's the same idea. It's not a different idea. It's the same idea. That those holy people, those pious people, right, in their pure rhapsody with divinity, it's channeling, it's the grace of the Almighty, right, that they fracture the hologram, right, and realign and dissolve the disease back into the ether from whence it came. And so on the other side of that, right, the shadow of divinity is evil, and you can exercise that same clairvoyance, right, over any point in space, over right, the 7 layers of myofiber muscle in my heart, right, and push diseases into me. And once it's done, it's done. So, something to consider.